Alright, so back with another Halloween video after a little bit of a break. A little bit unintended, but it gave me some fresh ideas for some characters. So today we are doing Clawdeen Wolf from Monster High. I have never done Clawdeen on here. And I think the only place I've ever done it on was on Instagram. And that was quite a while ago. That was during like lockdown for COVID, the first one. So, quite some time ago. But today we are starting out with doing some brows. I'm showing you guys this because it is a bit different than my normal brow routine. So I am filling in my brows with this amber kind of color so that it will match the wig, which is actually pretty close to my hair right now. But I wanted the wig to be really full like hers, and I found it at Spirit Halloween. So I'm just locking these brow hairs in with some brow gel and then going in with this kind of medium matte purple from ColourPop and going in with a pencil brush, and I am just mapping out my crease to start. This is all going to be a very purple. Since she is a cartoon, she really kind of lives in this, space of just purples. And with the new movie coming out, I really wanted to do a classic Clawdeen look because that is the one that I grew up with and love, with her big furry jacket and the choker and the big boots and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that version best, of course, but to each their own. I think with nostalgia, you always enjoy whatever you grew up with more than the new version. But that's just my opinion, and I think I'm not in the minority with that. But I'm just blending out this purple with a big fluffy brush and giving it a little bit of an angle, kind of coming down into the outer V just a bit for some definition there. So, for those of you who don't know, Clawdeen Wolf was in the original lineup of Monster High dolls and the cartoon, and that came out in 2010. So, I am going into the lid with just this shimmery purple shadow here. This is from the Hocus Pocus and ColourPop palette. But yeah, she comes from a family that has a bunch of characters that were shown in the show, and she is supposed to be the fashion designer friend. So she always had great clothes. I mean, I loved all the fashions in the entire series, but she was the fashion designer friend because there always seems to be one in these kinds of shows. But she was best friends with Draculaura, and she had a brother that dated Draculaura. She was always wearing animal print and fishnets and everything. So Clawdeen was a pretty cool character. And if you look at her makeup in the cartoon and on the original generation of dolls, she has this really bright shimmery highlight right under her brow. So I threw that on right under my eyebrows as well. It's just a shimmering white. Then it was time for some liner. I wanted to do the kind of Siren eye look, which I've never done before. And I don't think I quite nailed it, but I think it ended up looking pretty good. So I just took a pretty thin wing and brought it about 3/4 of the way over across my lid, which you can see here. I kind of was playing with the thickness and length of the line. But I brought it over and kind of let it thin out, disappearing into my lash line, just so that when I put on my false lashes, the band would have something to hide and blend into. So then I went into the inner corner and started drawing that kind of cat eye because she does have that elongated inner corner. So I brought that into the look as well. So yeah, I'm just looking like at this little thing about Clawdeen because I did my foundation just normal with a blending brush. She's on the Fear Squad, and she's like super nice, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure she's the first character that Frankie meets when she comes to Monster High. So we meet her really early on in the show. And yeah, she's really cool, and I loved her character. So I'm very happy all this stuff is coming back. I am a little disappointed that I was not able to get any of the reproduction dolls, but I'm going to keep my eye out for them if they restock or anything anytime soon, because I would love to have some of the reproductions. Not that I really collect dolls much, but I would love to collect some Monster High. So for the concealer here, I did conceal my upper lip and my cupid's bow, just so I could change the shape of my mouth a little bit, down the nose and under the eyes, so everything was nice and bright and lifted and smooth, very dull, cartoony like. And then going into the matte purple in the Hocus Pocus palette, I just smudged that underneath my lower lash line because I really wanted my eyes to stand out, be very green and very bright. I am not someone who can do colored contacts. I've had them in the past and I tried them, and unfortunately they just really, really irritated my eyes. So that was a no-go from me there. So I just wanted to brighten up the green tones as much as I could. So now going in with our contour, I chose a darker color so that I could get a sharper contour, going right underneath my cheekbones, really carving that out and coming right to about, I would say, 2 inches away from my lips, and then just bringing it down a bit towards my chin, just so everything is very sharp, because she does have kind of this triangular chin shape. And then I went on the end of my nose to make it look almost like I have an animal nose, because depending on the movie or series you're looking at, sometimes Clawdeen has this shading that makes it appear like she has a dog nose, even though she has just a normal nose. The only thing that gives her away is like her ears, the amount of hair she has, and her teeth. So I wanted to make that a little more visible on me, since I do have the ears, but I didn't have the teeth. And then I just blended everything out with a big fluffy brush that had absolutely no product on it. It just blended everything out really nicely. And this contour is the darkest shade in my e.l.f. contouring palette. If you were curious, it is a pretty good contouring quad if you are someone who is fairly pale, and I believe they have a shade range of those. So for blush, I went in with kind of an orangey shade that seemed to go with the tones that Clawdeen uses, because she wears gold because she is a vampire, so she can't wear silver. So I went with warmer tones for the blush and highlight, like this kind of pinky shade. This is a stick highlighter from NYX. I just put that on the nose, on the cheeks, just giving us a very kind of moon dusted look, which, makes sense. So here's the look with the wig from Spirit Halloween and the clip-in ears, and I'm using this Lime Crime metallic lipstick. She does have a few different shades of lipstick, so just go with something that's kind of fuchsia, purpley pink, and you will be in good shape. And I went with metallic, so it would be extra shiny on my lips. I believe this color is called Charmed, and it's like a metallic matte, so I really liked the way that looked, especially with the hair. And the costume is just stuff I had in my closet, so I just layered up a bunch of different purples and patterns, and boom, Clawdeen look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Be sure to head over to my Instagram to see the full costume, and I'll see you tomorrow.